Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to start on a book by my good friend Mr. Michael Murray. It's the Nobody Left Out, Waves of Grace. It deals a lot with the book of Jonah. Chapter 1 is entitled Day 1, More Than a Fish Tale. At the risk of offending you right on day 1 of this devotional, I have a terrible confession to make. I have never seen the movie E.T. in its entirety. I've caught clips of it on television, but I've never sat down to watch the film from start to finish. Despite this, one image flashes through my mind whenever I hear the word E.T. The iconic scene where Elliot and E.T. fly on a bicycle across the night sky, full moon shining in the background. Now, imagine if I overheard two film buffs discussing E.T. and I said, "Oh, that's the movie all about bicycles." They would look at me confused and say, "Well, sure, there's a bicycle scene in the movie, but that's not what the movie's about." When you first hear the word Jonah, what flashes through your mind? For most of my life, it was the image of a whale. You've heard the outlandish tale before. Jonah runs from God, a fish swallows him, and then he gets vomited out onto dry land. Most retellings end there, even though there are still 2 more chapters left in the book. In children's Bibles, the big fish is often portrayed as the main character of the story. But even as adults, our fascination with the fish can quickly become the main point of debate. Some people go to great lengths to prove that surviving 3 days in a fish is possible. Other people scoff at the implausibility of this tale, using it as evidence to dismiss the Bible as a joke entirely. But both sides are missing the point of this beautiful story. The word fish appears only 4 times in the book of Jonah, and it's presented as one detail in a much larger narrative. If we can stick a pin, or hook, in the fish for a moment, we'll see that Jonah is an amazing story, but not because a man survived 3 days in a sea monster. This little book is amazing because it flips everything we'd expect from a Bible story upside down. Sometimes I can't believe it's in the Bible. In the book of Jonah, a man of God looks like a fool, and pagans come out smelling like roses. In the book of Jonah, ships have personalities, prophets throw tantrums, and worms teach lessons. And most importantly, in the book of Jonah, God tenderly reveals to us that his love is big enough for everyone. People who have never opened a Bible have one thing in common with those who can quote it backwards and forwards. We all need waves and waves of God's grace to get through this life. Over the next 40 days, we're going to set sail on an adventure with Jonah. At times, it will seem like a misadventure. Jonah gets himself into one messy situation after another, and yet God continues to love him through it all. By seeing how God loved Jonah in the middle of his mess, we can be confident that God loves us in the middle of ours. Take some time to read the book of Jonah today. It's only 4 chapters with a total of 48 verses and can be read in about 10 minutes. As you read, try to approach the story with fresh eyes as if you've never heard of Jonah or the big fish before. As we explore this book together, we'll discover that, just as E.T. is not about bicycles, the story of Jonah is not about a fish. It is a story about how God doesn't want anyone left out, and the depths he'll go to remind us of that beautiful truth. Questions to ponder. What has your experience been with the story of Jonah? After reading the entire book of Jonah, what would you say about the story is about? What would you say that the story is about? I'll leave you there. That's the first chapter. Thanks for joining me. I hope we'll be together again soon.